Morning, everybody. Hope we all had a good weekend. You'd help me sing this one. I believe we know it. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, whoa, wonderful Spirit. Pour your love in me. Pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Oh, oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Whoa, whoa, wonderful. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Whoa, whoa, wonderful Spirit. Pour your love. Pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Whoa, whoa, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, wonderful Spirit. One more time. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, oh, wonderful Spirit. Where there is peace in my mind, let there be peace in the earth. Sing it out. Where there is peace in my mind, let there be peace in the earth. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Let's take it back to the top. Where there's peace in my mind. Where there is peace in my mind, let there be peace in the earth. Where there is peace in my mind, let there be peace in the earth. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om 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 Om Shanti Om Om Shanti Om. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Om Shanti, Om. Sing it again. Om Shanti Om. Sing it again. Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om.
Good morning. How are we? Good. Excellent. Welcome to Cityside, everybody here, and our live streamers. Hi there. I'm Lucy Witt, Minister in Training with Cityside. And if you're here for the first time, we want to especially welcome you, as well as anybody on the live stream who's streaming in for the first time. At Cityside here, we are about practical spirituality that you can use to create the life that you want and cultivate prosperity based on your personal definition of what that is. We embrace new thought and wisdom paths. We practice a philosophy rather than a religious doctrine, which is based on the teaching of Ernest Holmes, and who is the author of The Science of Mind, as well as other new thought teachers, both past and present. We honor all paths, and we practice oneness, knowing that Spirit or God is all there is, and that we are one with it. What we are really about is providing a supportive environment where you can explore your own personal spiritual path and connect to the spirit and wisdom within you. We are very excited that we're still here at, at Fulton Street Collective, and we love it. We're having a great experience, so we hope you are having a great experience too. Now, when you came in, you might have received a handout like this, and we are going to read our vision and mission statement. So please join me. We envision an empowered community that is living in a world of unconditional love in action. Our mission is to create safe spaces to explore and deepen our faith, grow in spiritual relationship, and connect with our authentic nature. We are a social media friendly community, so please don't give anybody the stink eye if you see they have their phones out. Just live stream. Just turn your ringers down, okay? And we appreciate everyone sharing about Cityside, either with the live stream link or post that you are here. And you can also check in and let people know that you are here. So help us get the word out. Today, our own Russ Legear will be sharing about the Live Life Like a Phoenix. And when I think of that title, I think of rising up, rebirthing, and knowing that whatever is happening is okay, and that I am rising in my consciousness to something better. So now, does anybody know what the icebreaker question is for the day? Okay. Okay, what is pride to you? Yeah. So get up and mingle and talk and share. Yeah. What is pride? Pride to me is acknowledging the presence within us that whatever we choose to be,
Russ, Russ. No, I don't want to hold it. Oh, tip it up. Okay, if we'll come back together. I like this. It's my height. That's a Connie height. Oh, okay. Well, I have a reading today for us, and then we will do a short meditation, and then we will do a prayer, an affirmative prayer. So if I can share here, this is Care of the Soul by Thomas More. Um, Interestingly, he was a monk, a Catholic monk for 12 years, and then afterwards he's collected 4 or 5 degrees and has written a dozen books and all of that. Hello. All right. So, the soul exists beyond our personal circumstances and conceptions. The Renaissance Magnus understood that our soul, the mystery we glimpse when we look deep into ourselves, is part of a larger soul, the soul of the world, anima mundi. This world soul affects every individual, whether natural or human-made. You have a soul. The tree in front of your house has a soul. But so too does the car parked under the tree. To the modern person who may think of the psyche as a chemical apparatus, the body as a machine, and the manufactured world as a marvel of human brain power and technology, the idea of anima mundi might seem strange indeed. The best some forms of psychology can do with our occasional intuitive sensation that all things are alive is to explain the phenomena as projection, the unconscious endowment of human fantasy onto an inanimate object. Inanimate means without anima, no anima mundi. The trouble with the modern explanation that we project life and personality onto things that it lands us deeply in our ego. All life and character comes from me, from how I understand and imagine experience. It is quite a different approach to allow things themselves to have vitality and personality. In this sense, care of the soul is a step outside of the paradigm of modernism into something entirely different. My own position changes when I grant the world a soul. Then, as things of the world present themselves vividly, I watch and listen. I respect them because I am not their creator and controller. They have as much personality and independence as I do. Okay, if you will find yourself comfortable in your chair, balance yourself on your behind, put your feet on the floor, and relax from the top down. Just consciously relax those shoulders, level your chin, relax and let go of your arms and legs, and just gently hold yourself into the chair and allow the chair to hold you. Now breathe in deeply, deep, and release it 3 times, deep, and release it, deep, and release. Now find your natural rhythm, relax your mind, and put out there into the universe, what is my beginning, my new beginning from this day forward? What am I doing here now, being? Breathe that in and ask, what is it mine to do? And rest in that thought and quietly listen for that answer. Breathe. Welcome back into the room. Take a deep breath in. As I pray us and bless us in this day. Beautiful. Oh, right here, right now, in this perfect moment, this vibrant, alive, electric moment that is life, that is joy, that is the expression of the soul. All of this I call God. It is flowing through us, around us, and is. With every breath and every heartbeat, it is. And I speak a blessing to all in this room and all on live stream and all in the world. I speak a blessing of love, of compassion, of joy, taking pride in each and every person, taking pride in our lives. That which we are unique individuals in this world. We are all needed, we are all wanted, we are all necessary to this vibrant thing we call life. And I speak a blessing over the world for peace and harmony, joy and acknowledgement that we are one. We are one in this universe. We are one in this world. We are one in everything that happens every day, every moment. Oh, and I speak a blessing to all who have come and served Cityside here today, the team that put the setup together, the team that brought the message forward, the music, the beautiful music. I bless that prayer. Music is the highest form of prayer in my mind. And I speak a blessing over that. And I speak a blessing for our week and our day to come. Our day and our week to come. I speak a blessing that we have a miracle each and every day. That there is kindness each and every day. And there is a concrete expression of love each and every day. Oh, breathe that in. Smile. It is all joy. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
I'll never be a knight in armor with a sword in hand, or a kamikaze fighter. I'll never be a knight in armor with a sword in hand, or a kamikaze fighter. Don't count on me to storm the barricades or take a stand or hold my ground. You'll never see any scars or wounds. I don't walk on coals, I won't walk on water. I am no prince, I am no saint, I am not anyone's wildest dream, but I can stand behind and be someone to fall back on. some comedy. You're bruised and beaten down, and I'm the one who's looking for a favor. Still, honestly, you don't believe me, but the things I have are the things you need. You look at me like I don't make sense, like a waste of time, like it serves no purpose. But I am no prince, I am no saint, and if that's what you believe you need, you're wrong. You don't need much, you need someone to fall back on. And I'll be that, I'll take your side if I'm the only one. I'm used to that. I've been alone, I'd rather be the best of us, the least of you, the best of me. And I'll be your prince, I'll be your saint. I will go crashing through fences in your name. I swear, I'll be someone to fall back on. I'll be the one who waits, and for as long as you let me, I will be the one you need. I'll be someone to fall back on. Your prince, your saint, the one you believe you need. I'll be someone to fall back on. Someone to fall back on.
Let's give some more love to Greg Woods, everybody. So I did not tell him to play that song. He just kind of did it. But that's like the perfect song for what I'm going to talk about today. And that's the idea that we don't need to be a saint. We don't need to be a prince. We don't need to have eye-hand coordination either. But what if we could just be the person that you fall back on? You know, isn't that what it means to be in community? That we're just here to help pick up the pieces when we fall apart. We fall apart all the time. So I'll get into that a little bit. First, I want to own the fact that it is year 2 of me doing the talk on Pride Parade Day here in Chicago. And I'm acutely aware that here I am, a white, straight, cisgendered man giving the talk on Pride. But we'll get through it. It'll be okay. I promise. And I love Pride. I love Pride because Pride is all about being seen for your authenticity, being seen for the truth of your being. And man, God knows the world needs a lot more of that, doesn't it? It really does. So my talk title today is Live Life Like a Phoenix. And what that means is live in alignment with the fact that we are constantly being reborn. And I'll tell you a little bit of my story of how I landed here, how I landed in minister school, and I'll do my best to not make it my life story, because I was rehearsing this talk this morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to cut that down a little bit. Needless to say, I've had a very interesting journey getting here now, getting to a place where you can see me. Because it wasn't always like that. When I was a little kid, my parents divorced when I was very, very young. And somehow that made me feel like I wasn't seen. And after a little while, I learned, oh man, I don't want people to see me. And I hid. I would literally hide under the covers. I did not want people to know that I was awake as a little kid, because then they would come and bother me, and that felt uncomfortable to me, and I don't really know why. I think it was just because I was not comfortable in my skin. I didn't have the models growing up of what it means to be in your authenticity. And I think that's true for a lot of us, isn't it? You know, a lot of us kind of have to figure it out as we go along. You know, some of us are blessed with parents that are truly spectacular, and they model that for us, but not all of us get that. And that's not to, browbeat any parents or anything like that, because, we're all just doing the best that we can. Nobody gets an instruction manual when a baby pops out. Even though there's books and books and books, it's one of those things where we learn from experience. And so I struggled with this for a lot of my life. I struggled with the whole idea of being seen, and I played it small. I would have, my teachers telling me that, you're so smart, Russ, why don't you try harder? And I'd just be like, meh. And I would deliberately choose situations where I would just meet the bar. And inside, I knew that I could be so much more. I knew that something was trying to find its way out of me, but I didn't really know what it was. And I mean, I don't think there are a lot of kids really that know what it is that's trying to come out of them. But so I struggled with that. I struggled with that through high school. I struggled with that through college. I was very lucky that my dad paid my way through college, so I didn't have to worry about that. But at the same time, I had no idea what I was getting into in college. I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought I was going to go and become a coder to make video games, because I love playing video games. Why wouldn't you want to make video games, right? And it turns out that my brain doesn't work that way at all. And so I went to the other end of the spectrum, and I became an English major. But yeah, I know, right? The irony is that I work in information technology today, because English major, unless you're J.K. Rowling or Stephen King or a famous author, you're not going to make a ton of money doing that. Maybe if you become a teacher. And of course, I was buying into that thing that my parents taught me, that, oh, you got to get a job, you got to make money, you got to support yourself, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, I found the English program at UW-Oshkosh, and for the first time in my life, I experienced a sense of rebirth. Something was starting to come out of me. I didn't know quite what it was, but something was reborn in that moment. And that was because I actually found a community. That was one of the things that I was missing, was this idea of a community that I could sit with and that I could talk with about big ideas. I wanted to talk about life, the universe, and everything, which is more than just the number 42 for any Doug Adams fans in here. I wish it could be summed up in 42, but it's not. Anyway, what was really great was we were having these amazing conversations. We were talking about depth. We were talking about what it means to be a human being, not just talk about, well, I guess we were talking about it, but it's like we were trying to be human beings together, I guess is a better way of putting that. And so I had that experience of rebirth, and it was really challenging, actually. As much joy as came out of that experience, my whole worldview burst into flames like a phoenix bursting into flames. And if I'm honest, I was actually a little bit nihilistic for a while. I got into really heavily into postmodernism, as English majors tend to do. The problem with postmodernism is if you go so far down that rabbit hole, nothing becomes true anymore, and life looks really interesting. So I struggled with that for many years, and eventually I found my way to Chicago. Somehow something was pulling me here. I didn't know it at the time, but I knew that I was looking for my tribe. I was looking for my community, my people. I even had my therapist when I moved into Chicago once told me, it's like, Russ, you need to go find your people. And I'm like, what? I don't know what that means. And then I went to a Peace Festival where the fabulous Daryl Jones was speaking, and I'm like, I want what he's having, you know? And found my way at the Bodhi Spiritual Center, and then found my way over here to Cityside and became a practitioner, and I'm currently in minister school. And all of these things led up here. All of these different experiences of rebirth led me to where I am today. So the first thing that I want to offer for us today to ponder and consider is that rebirth is a fact of life. Rebirth is a fact of life. It is not something that just happens once and then we get over it and we live in heaven with, you know, the Sky King in his robes and everything. That doesn't work. No, that's not real. Maybe for some people that works, but that doesn't work for me. Because that's stagnant, that's stuck, that's not rebirth. Rebirth is a truth of our universe, and here's why. I'm standing up here before you, and you see me, I am solid, right? Or at least I seem to be solid. I hope so, otherwise I'm a ghost, and that would be really creepy and weird. But if you start to really look beyond what our five senses show us, there is a dance going on just to make my body be here. There's a dance of the blood flowing through me. There's the nerve electrical signals that are going to my voice box that are creating my voice. And there's a feeling that I have of the sound of the air conditioning in my air and the reverb in the room. There's all of these things going on. And if we go deeper than that, we see that there's this constant dance between the atoms and the electrons and the particles, the fundamental bits of reality, the physical reality that make up our being. It's constantly moving, it's constantly shifting. And when we start to look at it bigger, this city is constantly moving. This earth is constantly moving. Not just orbiting around the sun, but hurtling through the universe at speeds that I can't even comprehend. And our galaxy is moving through the universe. We are constantly in motion. We're constantly in change. So rebirth is a fact of life. It is the truth of our universe. Now, that is also true of our consciousness, isn't it? I can tell you that today I just told you, today I'm a very different person than I was 20 years ago. Heck, I'm a different person now than I was 5 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago, as Connie's like giving me the hand signals over here. You know, we are constantly changing. That our consciousness, our soul, that Connie was talking about with that reading, our soul is constantly evolving. It's constantly becoming more of itself. And where I think we get stuck, and this is getting to the second thing for us to ponder today, is the fact that oftentimes that rebirth is also accompanied by pain. And now we get into my reputation as being the Debbie Downer talker here, or the Daryl Downer. Let's be equal opportunity downing here. A lot of times, if we're going to be reborn, a lot of times it does happen like we literally burst into flames, like the phoenix, and we have to let ourselves be destroyed. And that's painful, that's scary, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, has anybody had that happen, like in a moment in your life where you're just like, who you are is just falling apart, and you have to feel the pain in that moment? Yes, I got like 2 hands going up here from, yeah, I love it. And the problem is that, especially for us growing up in the United States, growing up in the West, is that we grow up in this pain-averse society. We grow up in this society that's got a pill for every kind of ailment that we might have. And we learn that rather than feeling our pain and actually being in relationship with it, feeling the bad, like the bad emotions, I say with air quotes here because I don't think they're really bad, rather than actually feeling them and processing them and letting them teach us what it is that they're going to teach us, we avoid them. We try to move past them. We try and distract ourselves. I am the king of Netflix and chill. When my feelings are trying to tell me something, I know that because I just went through like a 20 episode like season of some, DC show like The Flash or Arrow or something like that. I'm just like, oh man, I just sat here for like 10 hours. What is going on with me? It's time to sit down and feel my feelings. So pain is a part of that rebirth. And sometimes the pain is great, sometimes the pain is minor. But I think we need to be in relationship with that. And I've got this really awesome quote here. And for those of you who know me a little bit better, I am a big sci-fi nerd. So I've been wanting to use this quote in a talk for a very long time. I hope you guys like it. It's from a TV show in the 90s called Babylon 5. That is one of my all-time favorites. Oh, I love it. And I'm going to do my best with this quote here because the amazing Andreas Katsoulis, who's this amazing orator, he says this far better than I can. If you have a chance to check it out on YouTube, go and look for it because he's just got this voice that's amazing. And the quote goes like this. And I'm going to try and say it without getting emotional here too because this one gets me going. There is a greater darkness than the one we fight. It is the darkness of the soul that has lost its way. The war we fight is not against powers and principalities. It is against chaos and despair. Greater than the death of flesh is the death of hope, the death of dreams. Against this peril we can never surrender. The future is all around us waiting in moments of transition to be born in moments of revelation. No one knows the shape of that future or where it will take us. We know only that it is always born in pain. So let that sink in a little bit. I'm going to let that sink in too, because like I said, that quote always gets me going here. Like, be crying on stage. It'd be a great authentic moment, I think. So it sounds like a little bit of a depressing quote if you look at it on the surface, but really the truth is, it's kind of as my grandma would say, it's time for us to take our medicine. And that is, what if we could embrace the pain that is accompanied with rebirth? What if instead of dragging out those moments of transition, we are able to embody the pain that comes with those moments of revelation when our old way of looking at the world must be torn down? What if we're able to move beyond the resistance of our ego that's just trying to preserve the status quo and allow ourselves to be reborn? I really think that that's what the world is looking for today. And I'm taking 3 classes this term, and they're all class, or two out of the 3 are focused on specific religious traditions. So I'm doing a Buddhist class, I'm doing an Islam class. And what I loved about what I'm learning in the Islam class is that in Islam it said that there are 3 holy books. There's the Quran, which many of us are familiar with as a holy book. But then there's the book of nature. And the way that Islam teaches the book of nature is that is the book of the world, the book that God writes for us in the trees and the sunsets and the beauty of music and the beauty of poetry. But that's not the book I want to talk about today because I'd be here all day if I was doing that. Let's talk about the 3rd book. The 3rd book is the book of your life. And I love that idea because the idea is that we are writing this book as co-authors with God, as being one with God, but also having the guidance of God in our lives, or the universe, whatever you want to call this divine force for good. For me, being able to be in relationship with the pain of rebirth means being in relationship with the book of our life and getting in touch with the fact that we get to write this book, yes, but God is also there writing it with us. And when we are not in alignment with who and what we are, not just individually, but also as a society, we're going to experience pain. We're going to experience suffering. Isn't that what we're seeing in the world today? I think what we're learning as a society is that hate doesn't work out very well. Bigotry doesn't work out very well. Sexism doesn't work out very well. Seeing people as other than who we are, as being different in a way that puts up a barrier, that doesn't work at all. Because it's not in alignment with the book of our lives. It's not in alignment with the book of our life as a society, as a world, as this single human organism on this planet that isn't dominating it. We're not here to dominate the world. We're here to be in relationship with the world. We're here to be in relationship with the depth and the beauty that comes with the book of nature. We're here to be in relationship with each other, to talk to one another. You know, I'm not very shy about like my political views and things like that. So one of the things that I'm always challenged with when I turn on the news or I look at, you know, CNN or like the Huffington Post or something like that, I really have to check myself because it's very easy for me to put an other label on those with whom I disagree. Isn't that true? And I catch myself, and I try not to judge myself about that either, because, I mean, you know, people really do push our buttons, and, you know, that's just part of life. Where I have to go in is I have an opportunity of rebirth in that moment. I have an opportunity to be reborn, not as somebody who tries to put people who disagree with me outside of myself, but I have an opportunity to be reborn as somebody who finds a way to be in conversation with them, to find out where they are coming from. You know, find out what it is that motivates them, truly, because I believe, and this is one of the things that New Thought teaches, I believe that people are inherently good, because if God is good and we are part of God, then how can we not be good? How? Yes, you can absolutely applaud for that. It's not easy. It's not easy to see that, especially when people are acting a fool, man. It's really, really not easy to see that. It's certainly not easy to see that when I turn on the news and I see, you know, our certain people who are elected to office doing certain things and being who they are right now. Man, it's really challenging. It's not easy. So give yourselves a lot of credit if you are able to get to that point where you can at least ask yourself the question, you know, I wonder what's going on for them right now. I wonder how I could be in a relationship and find out how their needs can be met while our needs can also be met. It doesn't have to be win or loser. What can we do to make it win-win? And so that brings me to my closing point here, and this is really the most important point and the thing that I want to drive home specifically with Cityside. There is pain associated with rebirth, yes, but we do not have to face that pain alone, ever. In fact, we never do, because God is always there with us, whether we're aware of that divine presence or not. God is always there with us. But bringing it down to our world a little bit, we have each other, and that's been one of my visions for Cityside for a long time. What if we could be that community where rather than talking about the weather after service, we're talking about the depth of our lives. We're talking about the struggles that maybe we are dealing with, because we know that the person that we're talking across from is there to give us a hug and say, yeah, I understand, that's hard. But I still love you and I'm here for you. You know, that's the kind of community that I envision. How can we express love? How can we express relationship? How can we express the unity that is the truth of our being out in the world, honoring all of the amazing and beautiful differences, the kaleidoscope of differences that we have that make us uniquely who we are? It's not about homogenizing us, because divinely speaking, we are all part of God, so in that sense we are the same, but humanly speaking, we've got this vast array of differences that are beautiful, that are absolutely beautiful. And that's what I want us to honor here. Not just today, not just on Sundays, but going home, you know, exchanging phone numbers with people so that when you are having a hard time or when you're having a good time, you can give your friend a call and be like, you know what? I did this meeting today, I did this presentation, and man, I owned it. I just wanted to talk with you about that and talk about the fact that I nailed it today. You know, for me, it might be, I might call Connie and be like, I nailed that talk today. You know, that's the opportunity that we have. That's really what I believe, like, I want to see here at Cityside, but I know that that's what John is looking for, and Amy's looking for, and Lucy's looking for, and Reverend Judy, and everybody else who's showing up here. I know that something brought us in this room today. Something brings us here every Sunday that is saying yes to the authenticity and the truth of our being. So that's my call for us today, to be in relationship with each other. And to think of ways that we can be in relationship with those with whom we disagree, even though that might be hard, even though there might be pain, because in that tension, I think, is where the rebirth lies. And when we can embrace it, when we can authentically embrace it, we allow something new to be born. We allow something to evolve. And that's what the world needs. And so what if the world was healed of its fear of death and rebirth? What if the world was living its life like a phoenix? What if? And that's what I'll leave you here with today as we go into prayer. So I invite you to take into your heart that what if I could just spend a little bit of time with this rebirth, whatever it might look like for me. And that is where I go right here and now as I recognize the book of life, the book of nature, the book of God, this infinite divine presence that is here for our good, that is truly all that there is, that permeates all of reality, seen and unseen. I know it is the one, it is the many, and it is perfect. And I know that I am one with it, that I am one with its love, that I am one with its joy, I am one with its unity. I am one with all that God is. And because that is true for me, that is true for each and every beautiful soul here today at Cityside. I know that each of us is a divine and perfect expression of the one and the holy. And I extend that affirmation of oneness throughout the city, throughout the state, the country, the world, the universe. I know that we are all God living its life beautifully and uniquely. So I claim as truth here and now that we are in divine alignment with the truth of our lives, that it is easy and effortless for us to be in the energy of rebirth, the energy of rebirth that brings forth a new community, a new way of being in conversation with one another, a new way of being in love with one another. I call this forth, I know it to be so, because God is love. God is relationship. God is all that is good. And I just know that that is blossoming open within our hearts here and now. And I say yes to this. Say yes with me to this.
I say to your way, God. I say yes.
Let your heart say yes to rebirth, to being reborn.
I say yes.
Let the love that is there just wash over you. Let that love wash away any fears, any doubts, any false expectations appearing real. is what I know here and now, that the love of God washes through us, that the love of God binds us together in divine relationship, that the love of God casts away the pain that we see in the world, knowing that truly we are one, that truly we are together in relationship, and that is what I call forth here and now. I call it forth as the divine bodhisattvas here at Cityside, but also throughout the world. I know that there is an awakening of people saying yes to being in community with one another, to being in conversation with one another. I say yes to that. And I'm so grateful for this community, so grateful for the fulfillment of this prayer, so grateful for everybody who continues to say yes to being in the world in alignment with the book of their life. I am grateful for this. And with my gratitude, I release this word into the action of the law. I let it go, I call it good. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Thank you.
The music, the talk, wow. I just love it when everything just comes together so well and that everybody is so in tune. I love it. So Cityside is a community-supported organization, and each week we practice conscious giving to support Cityside in creating the space and experience of us coming together in community. Now, Cityside is my home, my spiritual home, and I want to cultivate that spiritual home all the time by giving generously to the Cityside consciousness, because I know when I do that, that I am fulfilling my gift to Cityside. Before we make our gifts, I want you to just invite you into a ritual that we have begun to practice just to get into gratitude before we make our gift. So just close your eyes for a moment and reflect back on the week. What happened this week that you are grateful for? Connections made, events, people, unexpected support, easy flow. And now just turn your attention ever so gracefully to your money and give thanks for that flow of money during this week. Notice the perfect flow of giving and receiving in your week. I invite you to make your gift from this place of gratitude for all the good that is coming to you and in appreciation of your gratitude for having this community to support you and to connect to. So if you would just put your gift now to your heart and join in our affirmation. And so silently just know that divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And we're passing the baskets now and donating accordingly.
Grateful,
Grateful, grateful, grateful,
grateful.
text to give.
Grateful.
Text to give is on your bulletin, on your flyer. You can also do it from on the website as well. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Greg. And Dom. Speaking of Dom, he has a new album which you can buy. Yeah. And I looked at his picture on the album. It's like, whoa, hello.
He played pretty much every instrument on it.
Did he really? Wow. Are you on it? Subtly?
I'm really quiet, like.
Right. So you can you can buy that album at toughguyjoeyjr.bandcamp.com. Is that right? All right. So go to toughguyjoeyjr.bandcamp.com. And the other thing I want to acknowledge everybody this morning for setting up the team, the service team, John, Reverend Judy, Connie, Russ, Ted, me, Bobby, and Peter. Thank you so much. You're just so grounded in your dedication, and I totally love it. So keep it up. There are greeters downstairs, so you see their beautiful shiny faces when you come in, and they'll tell you nicely where to go. Yeah, up to the third floor. John and I put a sign there this morning, so they don't have to say anything if they don't want to. If you have interest in getting involved as a volunteer, please see someone on the service teams at the welcome table, out in the hallway, or you can spot our volunteers. We are supposed to be wearing lanyards. I didn't wear mine today, but we normally have them on. So again, if you're here for the first time, we want to thank you for blessing us with your presence. And please visit our welcome table outside of the room and fill out an information card so we can stay in touch. If you have any questions about Cityside or what we are about, please feel free to see me or one of the other service team members. Please stay and share some coffee and goodies with us and meet us. Share this new location with your friends, either by posting on website or pick up some postcards on the way out and share those with your friends. We'd also like everyone to join our Facebook group, different from our Facebook page. The Facebook group allows us to be in communication with each other during the week and to stay connected with each other. Our July theme is freedom of thought, and we will be looking at the freedom which New Thought has brought to the spiritual path and revisiting some of the great historic New Thought teachers. We have a great guest speaker lineup. Reverend Amy, Reverend Darrell Jones, and Reverend Louise Weldon will be sharing the spotlight for Speaker of the Day. On July 14th, we're going to be having an informational meeting for people who are interested in the practitioner studies and CSL coursework in general from 11:45 to 12:45 here in this room. So everyone is invited to join us for that. Don't leave this room with anything heavy on your heart. If there is something that you need, you can ask one of our practitioners. We can sit down with you in this room, in the hallway, or wherever. You can also put a prayer request in at the prayer table, and our spiritual practitioners will pray on your requests for 2 weeks. And so if you have any other questions at all, please feel free to come to me or anybody on the team. Again, thank you for coming today. Have a wonderful week. And come back next week. Okay. Now we'll join in with Give Thanks.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all there is. Say love. Say love. Say love. Say love. Say love. Say love for all there is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give